This podcast is part of the podcast series Avian in the Sacred Realm, and this is episode 6. We're diving deep into a simple, yet I think a really profound question today. If you think about human life, it's all about rhythm, right? It's like breathing. You draw inward and you push outward.
An inhale and an exhale.
Exactly. But for centuries, it seems like so many spiritual systems have presented this as a choice, a really tough choice.
A forced choice, really.
Right. You either withdraw completely, renounce the world, find peace, or you participate fully, which, well, that often just leads to burnout and distraction.
It's a classic split, sacred versus worldly.
Okay, so let's really unpack this because the source material we dove into suggests that Hindu Dharma, at its very foundation, just completely rejects this split.
It does. It says that a life is only whole when that inner realization and the outer celebration are in perfect harmony.
So the thesis for our deep dive today is this idea of two paths, or maybe two wings of the same bird.
I like that. Two wings for one flight.
We have the inner path, the antaranga, which is all about connecting with the self. And then you have the outer path, the baharanga, which is the vibrant, conscious connection with life.
And you need both. That's the key.
That's the mission today, to understand how you can be, deeply rooted in awareness while still being completely open to all of life's chaos and joy.
And that duality is, well, it's the magic trick, isn't it? Because without that inner grounding, the outer life just feels meaningless.
Empty.
And without the outer expression, the inner life can become sterile, isolated.
So where do we start? It has to be inward, right? The antaranga.
It has to. The antaranga is purely the path of consciousness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that journey inward where you start to discard all the external labels. This path doesn't care what you do for a living.
It's not about your resume.
Not at all. It asks that one fundamental question. Who am I? Who am I behind all the roles, the names, the duties, all the fears the world has put on me?
And this idea of balance is so central.
It's everything. In fact, in the book Avian in the Sacred Realm, this concept, the two wings of Hindu Dharma, is explored from ancient Hindu philosophy and meditative practice. It sees this inward journey as having four main streams.
4 different methods, all leading to the same ocean.
A perfect way to put it. They all converge on moksha, or liberation.
So let's slow down and look at these, because I think people often lump them all together, but their approaches are so different.
They are incredibly distinct. So the first stream is Bhakti. This is the path of the heart.
Devotion.
Pure devotion. It's about melting the ego through love, through surrender, where that feeling of separation between you and the divine just dissolves.
So like chanting or singing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether it's singing to Shiva or dedicating all your actions to Krishna, the goal is to loosen the intellectual grip of that rigid, separate self.
Okay, so if bhakti is for the heart, what about the mind? That brings us to dhyana.
Meditation. And this is key. Many people think dhyana is about making your mind blank. It's not.
It's not about emptiness.
It's the opposite. It's the practice of achieving profound clarity. When all that mental chatter finally subsides, awareness just returns to its natural expansive state.
And that clarity, I assume, sets the stage for the third path.
It does. It prepares you for Jnana, or self-inquiry. And this is the sharpest tool in the box.
This isn't just reading philosophy, is it?
No, it's about direct perception of truth. The practitioner just systematically asks, if my body changes, my thoughts change, my feelings change, what is the I that is watching all of this change?
Wow, so you're basically dismantling your entire assumed identity.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the fourth path, and this one is maybe the most misunderstood, Tantra.
Okay, we need to pause here because when people in the West hear Tantra, their minds go somewhere very specific.
Yes, and it's essential to clarify. We're talking about philosophical Tantra. At its core, it is internal alchemy.
Internal alchemy. I like that. So what does it mean?
It means radical integration. Instead of rejecting powerful energies like desire or anger or fear, which, many monastic traditions tell you to do, Tantra says, no, let's use it.
So you don't suppress it.
You transform it into awareness. Nothing is thrown away. All that raw energy is purified and integrated back into consciousness. It's the path of using absolutely everything life throws at you for your own growth.
What's profound is how all four of these paths, they all end up at the same truth. That quietness is not emptiness.
Yes, is the experience of the self. The Upanishads put it so beautifully. When the mind becomes still, the self shines.
And that's the root. But if we stop there, we're only a one-winged bird. We fall into that trap of escapism.
Exactly, which is why the outer path of Bahiranga is so essential. It prevents that spiritual dryness.
So if the inner path is about realizing the self, the outer path is about what? Living as that self in the world.
That's it, exactly. And what's so unique here is that the culture treats life itself as sacred. It's not something to escape from, it's something to bring awareness into.
This is where we see things like the samskaras, the life ceremonies.
Yes, and that word samskara, it means an impression. These ceremonies are designed to create a deep, conscious impression on the soul during life's biggest moments.
They're not just parties.
Not at all. They're deep psychological and spiritual markers. Take the naming ceremony, the namkaran. A name isn't just a label. It's chosen as a specific vibration to support the child's destiny.
And then there's the upanayana, the thread ceremony.
The initiation into formal knowledge, responsibility, self-discipline. And crucially, there are parallel rites for women, like Ritu Shuddhi for a girl's coming of age.
Which honors womanhood and her place in the community.
It recognizes her as an individual with her own destiny. And then, of course, the most central rite, vivaha, marriage.
In so many cultures now, marriage is a legal contract, maybe a romantic one, but here it's defined as a union of dharma.
A shared purpose. That's the defining difference. The couple vows to support each other's material, emotional, and spiritual growth. The family becomes the place you practice your spirituality.
And beyond these personal moments, you have the festivals, the Utsav Dharma. These aren't just holidays.
They're spiritual reminders. They're designed to sync you, the individual, with the rhythms of the cosmos. Think about Diwali.
The festival of lights.
Right. It's literally taking that inner light you cultivated in meditation and celebrating it outwardly, reminding everyone to let that light guide you through darkness.
Or Holi, the festival of colors.
Which is such a brilliant lesson in the playfulness of life and, more importantly, the impermanence of identity. For one day, all social rules dissolve. You aren't your job or your status. You're just pure energy.
Joy.
Joy. Joy is as sacred as silence. That's what the outer path teaches. A year without celebration becomes a life without color.
Okay, this brings us to the unification, where the two wings have to connect. What happens if they don't? What's the risk of imbalance?
Well, if you retreat only inward, you focus only on meditation, only on self-inquiry, your spirituality can become a form of escapism.
You might be peaceful, but you're isolated. You're not engaged with humanity.
Exactly. And the opposite is just as dangerous. If you only focus on the rituals, the festivals, the family duties,
Okay, outer stuff.
it becomes pure distraction. The life might be colorful, but it's hollow. That emptiness creeps in because the root isn't there.
So what's the solution? How do you actually do both?
The clearest instruction comes from the Bhagavad Gita. It's the famous line, Yogastha Kuru Karmae.
Which translates to something like established in awareness, perform action.
Yes. And here's where it gets really interesting. Who is Krishna talking to?
Arjuna.
A warrior.
A warrior, a prince, a householder with immense responsibilities. He wasn't talking to a monk in a cave. The teaching is crystal clear. Do not escape your life. Spiritualize your life.
That one idea just resolves so much tension, especially in modern thought where we're always splitting things.
We do. We split our personal life from our professional life, the sacred from the worldly. But this model integrates it all. Your duty becomes your worship. Your family becomes your spiritual responsibility.
And the enlightened masters, they lived this.
Yeah.
Right? What's so fascinating is that they modeled it perfectly. You look at Rama, Krishna, even King Janaka. They weren't hermits. They were deeply engaged in society, fulfilling their duties, but with total inner detachment.
Their spiritual maturity was proven by how they lived in the world, not by leaving it.
Precisely. The inner path gives depth to the outer path, and the outer path gives expression to the inner path.
It's the final piece of the puzzle. The inner work frees you from needing external validation. But the outer celebration ensures that the joy you find inside is actually shared with the world.
You need both. It's the formula for the complete human.
So, what does this all mean for us today? I think the core message is that spiritual depth and the celebration of life are not opposites.
They're two sides of the same coin. Consciousness plus joy.
And exclusively inner life, it just becomes dry. And exclusively outer life becomes noisy and eventually empty.
But when they flow together like an inhale and an exhale,
Yeah.
that's a fulfilled life.
I think we have to hold on to that simple analogy. The inner path teaches you who you are. The outer path teaches you how to live. A bird simply cannot fly with one wing.
It can't. You're meant to experience that stillness and the celebration, both at the same time.
And that dual path, being rooted in awareness while being open to life, that's the ultimate takeaway.
Absolutely. And, if this concept resonates and you want to explore this idea of harmony even further, it's worth mentioning again. In the book, Avian in the Sacred Realm, this concept, the two wings of Hindu Dharma, is explored from ancient Hindu philosophy and meditative practice.
This was episode 6. Thank you for listening. If this resonated, explore Avian in the Sacred Realm. The journey continues.